Yo, I heard all that water or juice or whatever.
You heard to swallow it.
We call friends.
Good evening, good evening. This is show number 23 right here on the Walk Ons. So thank you for tuning in on iHeartRadio, Facebook Live, all that good stuff. I'm glad that you are here. Today we have Chris with the K.
Hey, y'all.
We got Opie.
What's up?
We got Wabi.
Yes, sir. Glad to be back.
And we got Tremaine.
What's up?
So we've been on a good 2 or 3 week vacation, technically, because we've been doing a lot of stuff with our high school game day show and all the other good stuff. So, but we are back here, and we're glad to be back. Make sure you watch our high school game day show this week, as we will be at Lexington High School as they get ready to take on the AC Florida Falcons. The show will get started at 7 o'clock p.m. on Facebook Live, so make sure you tune in for that. Also, on next week, we'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina, as we get ready for the Charlotte takeover, as the South Carolina Gamecocks get ready to take on the NC State Wolfpack. We'll be in downtown starting at noontime, and we'll be taking over the whole city of Charlotte. Chris, Opie, Tremaine, even Wabi. You'll be there, Wabi?
Not going to be in Charlotte.
Okay.
What?
Never mind.
I'll be thinking about you guys.
Well,
I'll be watching from afar.
All right, cool. Well, we'll try to get everybody there. So, Charlotte takeover next week in Charlotte, North Carolina, September 2nd. We'll be there high noon, so make sure you follow our Facebook page, as all of our shows will be on there. Also, if you'd like to become a sponsor, all that sort, be a volunteer, make sure you email at sales@freethinkersradio.com, and we would love to hear from you. Well, how y'all feel about the eclipse from yesterday?
It was really cool.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
It was amazing.
I wear my glasses all the time just to look at the sun now.
But you can't see nothing out there.
Well, first of all,
See the sun.
yesterday's memes were hilarious.
It was. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
If you saw my personal Instagram with the guy, he had like the milk and the bread and the screaming.
Oh yeah,
stuff. That was funny.
Is it bad that I can? Okay, this is gonna be funny. I didn't get to really see it.
Why not?
Because you know what? In the northeast side of town, they just had to be clouds all up in the sky. And it covered everything. So I seen me and every neighbor I had, about 6 of us, black folk, we all trying to see the eclipse. We didn't see much. We seen clouds.
Well, I work at the Firefly Stadium, so you saw the picture went from daytime to nighttime, and I was watching it in my glasses.
I'm jealous.
And it was nice. My bad. Well, northeast side is,
Nah.
Back on this side, it was good. I was at Ben Lippin because we're the highest point in Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
So I sat out there outside and watched it. It was
fair.
We had one brief cloud moment, but I got to see the whole you can take your glasses off point.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do all of that. That was awesome.
I took pictures.
I
posted on Facebook.
I tried to take pictures. My camera didn't care.
So you try to be a photographer now? Huh?
Well,
Yeah, I got skills.
I would have posted clouds.
Robert, how you feel about it, man?
Oh, it was great. I was at Murray Wood Pool with my family, so it was great to see that God's creation at work there.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
Yes,
It was
sir.
beautiful.
Yes, sir.
It was nice, and just seeing it with we had at least maybe 9,000, about 9,500 fans there, for all them to hear that reaction once it came. It was awesome to see, and like they said, it's a once in a lifetime moment. It will happen again here, probably like another 30-something years. Another will be happening in 7 years if you go from Dallas to New York near Niagara Falls. So we probably could take a trip to Niagara Falls.
Let's do
So
it.
is it going? You said so. It's going across New York. Like
It's going from Dallas to New York in like 2024.
If it goes through Ohio, I'll go home.
It's supposed to go to Ohio.
Oh, I'm going home.
As long as you give us a ticket, that's 7 years from now.
Ticket, dude.
So
we
you
just
taking
paid
us with you?
77.
But we should have enough money for that.
If you want to go, just let me know.
I mean, 7 years
I
from
wanna
now,
go.
we might have,
I got you. For real, that's
7
it.
years, we might have like teletransporters, We just,
Ooh, that's scary. I ain't gonna do it. You see iRobot? I'm rebelling. They gonna turn on us.
I mean, it can still work. They probably testing stuff out now.
You mess around. What if it teleports you back the wrong way? What are you gonna do?
I'm going anyway.
I still go.
We'll have to have teledoctors. So where was it before? Oh, okay.
Like your foot be in Missouri somewhere.
Your foot be around.
Don't say that.
My foot in
I
transport.
mean, they putting stuff in your hand now, so
Don't.
they won't be surprised if they start
Ain't
making stuff
putting
like that.
nothing in my
We ain't talking about them chips. Leave them alone. Listen.
The one that vibrates to wake you up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
That eclipse got to your head, didn't it?
Man, I was so messed up because I was ready to go home after it happened.
It made me. Did anybody get like unusually tired afterwards or no? I feel exhausted.
But that's
I feel like it was draining. I'm turning into a werewolf.
I feel like
if I turn into a zombie, I promise not to eat y'all.
I did go to sleep after that eclipse, so I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, so y'all feel like after the Sunday dinner, y'all just ate and go to sleep.
Yeah.
No, I just was lazy and just wanted to go to sleep.
Oh.
Well, next topic. Yeah. Next topic. Last week we had our high school game day show at River Bluff High School. Chapin defeated River Bluff 28-20. Good game so far for what we saw. We're going to start with a 14-0 first half lead, first half, and then from there, Chapin took over from there. And after halftime adjustments, they took the lead and won the game 28-20. Tremaine, you was there. What do you think about that game from last week?
It was actually really good. Like River Bluff started out real strong. I mean, they came out the gate. I mean, on it. But what really made the transition, which changed the flow of the game, was Chapin's backup quarterback came in, and I mean, he after the third drive, you could see a difference in the whole entire offense. And from there on, it just I mean, it's like Chapin got stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. From the not the first quarter, it was more the second quarter, and then the second half, it's like River Bluff didn't have a chance. And then so it's not that I mean, like, because in the first quarter, the River Bluff defense was really, really strong. I mean, they were on their game. They were holding down. But then one thing that really did hurt River Bluff, though, penalties. Penalties killed them. Delay of games. Obi seen it too. It was
first off, shout out to River Bluff for giving us a wonderful time and letting us sit in the skybox, which was amazing. So thank you, River Bluff. Thank you, Coach, for everybody for that. But yeah, second half was just night and day. Penalties, mental mistakes, and that quarterback really made the difference. His composure, him being able to see the whole field, not just one side, and him being able to process and make the right reads. And he ran when he needed to, and he passed the ball when he needed to. So he did a great job.
With them losing their QB to Ben Lippin.
Not sorry.
Well, we know what happened last week against University Christian.
Listen.
No gunshots.
That's okay.
Bang, bang, bang,
We're going to Florida. We're not going back to Florida. We can still win a state championship.
It's still possible. Still possible.
It is still possible.
Yeah, I mean,
Florida go back to Florida. They'll win theirs. We'll win ours. Boom.
Man, y'all still have a blemish.
Give me a harder topic. Boom.
Loss.
One thing about Chapin, I know with Coach Gentry, he's a legend in the coaching ranks. He can make things happen with anybody. So with the young QB like Pajoni, I think that's how I say his name, Pajoni. To see, cause I saw the highlights on online, and to see how he took control of the game and made things happen. Yeah, you could see the actual star coming up for him. He was awarded player of the game last week. If anybody don't know, the Lewis Simpkins player of the game award is an award that we give out to all the players for outstanding performances. It's named after Lewis Simpkins, the guy that passed away last year from River Bluff High School, and it'll be pretty much awarded to the guys who show gut and strength and power and make things happen on the field. And pretty sure Lewis will be gracious to know that somebody be awarded for that in that case. So.
Yeah, that was. I got to give it to y'all on that one, man. That was an awesome thing to do for that family. Knowing that, I mean, side note from just the sports side, I mean, what family wouldn't feel honored for their child to be acknowledged as an award, an MVP award after a game? Like that's huge, man. So that was when I was seeing that was powerful. That was awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The Simpkins family are very gracious for that to be happening. So we're looking forward to be awarding that for a number of years. We plan on doing this for as long as we continue this high school game day show, which I believe will be a pretty good long time. So,
definitely.
Next topic. I know we wanted to short on time, but let's go ahead and skip down to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Woohoo!
Just a few minutes ago, Kyrie Irving has been traded to the Celtics as the Cavaliers gets Isaiah Thomas,
Crowder, and next year's first round pick from I think it's the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets.
Yes,
they get their pick.
Yes.
So, will this help them, defeat Golden State?
No.
Why not?
Matchups. They still ain't got nobody to guard Kevin Durant, and maybe they even hurt themselves by getting Isaiah. So now who's gonna guard Steph or put pressure on Steph? So he has to play defense on the other side. Being that Isaiah is shorter, you can just put Clay on him and deny it, and with no, with possibility of having D Wade coming, you still don't have enough shooters. So maybe
to me, I think this is a win for Boston. To me, because one, age differences between Kyrie and Isaiah is almost 10 years apart. Isaiah's 33, Kyrie's 24, and he's younger than me.
But at the end of the day, you still got K. Felder.
Younger than me.
Yeah,
but you still got K. Felder. D Rose is 27, 28.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just lose track.
But he does get hurt all the time. His mom didn't give him too much milk.
So.
I'm sorry,
he didn't get hurt last.
It's still going. It's still it may. I agree with OP. It is going. It's still a matchup game. We were talking about it earlier anyway, and I did agree with him. As far as that, what I will say is that Cleveland, as far as with the East, I mean they're still going to win the East. Period. I mean they're not going to lose the East.
I don't know. I think Boston can make that rise. To me,
win.
I mean they got good drafts. They had a good draft this year. They got Kyrie coming in. Still, he could be able to lead the team for what he wanted.
And the trade from the Utah Jazz, it's gonna help him out. No, that's
Gordon
not.
Hayward.
Utah has a good player.
Gordon Hayward's not gonna do anything.
We'll be back with the Clemson Insider with Mr. Robert can stay tuned. So I still think Boston will be able to work this out. So
Gordon Hayward is good, but he is not. No,
he just can't guard LeBron. I mean, that's
you know he can't. So,
like I said, in order,
nobody can guard LeBron.
Yeah, they can.
No,
back up.
Nobody can guard
if he score 40, good. But you got to stick to the game plan.
LeBron gonna score 40 regardless.
He's not gonna score 40. He's not built for 40. He's built for a triple double.
Okay, this is true. I'll give you that. I wasn't thinking that way.
He's built for a triple double, and he's built to get his teammates involved. Go back as far as him being a rookie, why they didn't make it because he's getting his team involved. He's not built. He's not Kobe. That's not his mindset. Is the score? I want to go down the score.
It should be.
He's a team player. He is a team player.
That's not how he. You can't be who you're not. You can't be a defender. I don't care how hard you want to be. You can play hard as you want. You're not your niche is. That's not what you're good at. That's not something. You have to work hard at it, and you'll be good. But that's not your niche. If you're a 3-point shooter, if you're Steph Curry, you shoot threes. You don't go in and you try to.
So do you think that this year that LeBron is not going to try to bring a little bit more aggression as far as attacking and really? Even scoring more points.
What can you do if it's 8 people in the lane?
That's true. That's true. I'm just.
And people are starting to realize that because he's getting older,
right?
And they're starting to sack. Let him. I've been saying. I mean, I'm not into this, so but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
you have to have any defender has to be a little slow. Right. Because you can't be caught up on getting crossed up. You have to know at the end of the day, this is his weakness, and I got to go for what I know. He's a streaky shooter. And any streaky shooter, you close out and you live with the results. You do not let, if he goes to the lane, he's
right about
68%, 70%.
That's true.
You talking about
he's a career 55%.
That is very true.
Why would I try to stop him?
I can't argue with that because he's not, from the free throw line, LeBron, he's going to struggle.
If he goes by me, I foul him. And we get the ball outside, and I keep him in front of me.
That's true.
But it's not a lot of guys that are built that way that thinks. And I'll be on the same. Hey, coach, I got 6 fouls. We're having somebody up.
But one thing to keep in mind though, LeBron is aging. Isaiah Thomas is getting to start the age.
Right. Wayne is too.
All these other guys,
it's gonna happen.
Just like for them to get them kind of guys, and then D Rose is not reliable. We know that.
But Isaiah's in his last year, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's
right. So
last year of his contract.
The reason why I say Cleveland is a loser in this because you got 2 Asian guys, one Mr. Irreliable. And you gonna tell them? I'm sorry, but to tell them that they gonna make it to the championship again?
No, they're gonna make it to the championship again. No, that's gonna happen.
Who's
now they're gonna have
Boston.
D Rose. All D Rose got to do is play 25 minutes.
No.
Boston's
if he can make
not,
it, he can make it. Come on, if he can make it to 25.
Isaiah Thomas is going to play 35 plus.
Isaiah will, yeah.
Okay, so there's no pressure on D Rose.
Isaiah Thomas is what D Rose should have been.
He's not going to.
You still got LeBron James that's handling the ball.
Marcus.
You still forgetting LeBron James is handling the ball 80% of the time.
Oh, that's a given.
Okay, so what does D Rose have to do now?
Just be there.
Okay,
be wonderful.
He will be there
on the bench.
He's playing. I mean,
he'll be there on the bench or he'll be in the hospital.
That's just me.
That's harsh coming from Cleveland fans because y'all gonna need him in the playoffs.
It's true.
Let us say this.
You gonna need him.
D Rose is a special athlete.
Listen,
that's point blank. Period.
They're still gonna get the championship. That's not gonna change.
Gonna stop dissing.
Cleveland's get to the championship. You know that. Now with Golden State, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Golden State, they didn't worry about if LaMarcus Aldridge is spotted. If they find LaMarcus Aldridge, if somebody has brought this man back from wherever he's been hiding at, the West is in trouble. He only averaged 10 points in the playoffs.
I don't disagree.
Who's stopping Kawhi?
Nobody. Because they can't. He's gonna play defense. Kawhi is the best defensive player in the whole entire league.
All right, how about this? We're gonna finish this in the last say. How about that?
That's fine. That's fine.
Let's talk about Clemson Tigers here.
Oh, okay. We can go to football. I didn't know we was back.
Oh yeah, we've been back.
We've been back.
We got the Clemson inside with Mr. Robert Kennard. Clemson is going to be kicked off at Kent State next week. Of course, people consider this as a warm-up game.
Mm-hmm.
They named their starter on yesterday.
Yep, Kelly Bryant has been named a starter, and he not a whole lot of experience. I was looking at his stats. He's 13 of 18 in his career out of 100 snaps. So he's only passing the ball 18% of the time. So we were talking earlier about them being ranked number 5. Maybe they don't quite trust Kelly Bryant yet. He's got a lot to prove as a passer, but he's definitely a good runner. And, it's going to be his show this year. So we'll see how he does with it. The first game, they have Zarek Cooper as a backup quarterback and Hunter Johnson, third-string quarterback. Look for all three of them to get some work in that first game just to see how all of them will handle the big stage. And they'll go from there as far as the quarterback position. But week 2, you got Auburn coming in. It's going to pick up the pace. You got to know who's going to be your leader, who's going to be your quarterback. They say Kelly Bryant, but it'll be a good opportunity in that first game to firm up his hold on that number 1 quarterback position.
I got a question.
All right.
Because we talked about it before. Do you think they should be as low as 5? I think they should be second. I don't know why Ohio State is second. Yeah. I mean, I'm serious. Like, why? I mean, how many starters?
It's just like Duke and college basketball.
Yeah.
No, Duke. That's different. Basketball different.
Duke and Kentucky is continuously
basketball is different. You can have one person that destroys everything.
Yeah.
Football, you need chemistry. You need everything to go together and mesh because one person can throw everything out.
Correct. Well, really the quarterback.
Right. Three teams ranked ahead of them. They beat last year: Florida State, Alabama, and Ohio State. So, that's it's good still to be in the top 5. That's respect.
Disrespect.
But you got to be in the top 4 to be in the playoffs. So if you're number 5, you're on the outside looking in. That's where you don't want to be
Would you not agree that they? And from putting them at number 5, 9 out of 10 is because of quarterback play. Right. That's the only reason why they put him at number 5. I'm just asking. Would you agree that that's the only reason why they would put him at number 5? Outside of that, they wouldn't.
Defensive line. You got offensive line is ranked 3rd in one publication. That's
right.
Defensive line is ranked number 1. So the battles in the trenches, they're going to be solid. They lose a couple receivers. They get a couple proven. They've got plenty of proven receivers back.
Right.
They lose Gallman at running back, but you get running back by committee this year, most likely, with a number of guys working their way in there. C.J. Fuller, heavily touted Tavion Feaster is in there. They have a freshman from Louisiana that's been really impressive in camp. This is just named Edewan. Is just going to be begging to get some playing time as well. So they may have a 4-back rotation and just see who's the hottest hand that particular day at running back. So.
That's what's up. I'm interested to see how Clemson comes out.
They're going to be, Alabama is reloaded, they're stopped, but the key is always your offensive line, your defensive line. Because they control the battles. And you're talking about number 1 in defense and they should be no lower than 3. USC?
With football, with football, though you can have a strong offensive line and a strong defensive line. But the number one thing is that if you do not, first off, for offense, if they do not have a solid quarterback, that hurts. Right. Because the quarterback controls the whole entire flow of an offense.
But the whole key is that is what does your defense do to give them enough chance? If you got a solid, in college football, professional football, if you have a solid quarterback that does not turn the ball over.
Yeah, you look at Alabama, their 4 championships.
Special teams, correct.
They've never had an elite quarterback. They've had solid.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you just need
manage the game.
Right. You just need a quarterback that can at least just not turn the ball over. But the thing is, and think about last year, even with Alabama, though they did have a solid quarterback, the number one weakness for them was still their secondary. Right. They still couldn't do it. Even because every time, because guess what? Clemson had a running quarterback last year. Ohio State, when they beat them, had a two running quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were trying to do the same
Alabama lost the same way. So you can. It's the thing. The thing is, even understanding this list and understanding where they put these teams at, understanding why I understand why they will put Clemson at number 5. Not because Clemson is sorry. They're far from that, but because of Deshaun Watson leaving and going to the league, that is the reason why. If you look at these other teams, the other teams that are in front of them, they are 4 solid quarterbacks that have come back and proven themselves, and that's the reason why. For Clemson to still be number 5, after they're even in front of the Heisman Trophy candidate winner last year.
But
that's huge.
He didn't have
any collapse down the stretch. So.
Yeah, he didn't have any support, which he should have this year. I mean, it's preseason. You don't want to end up like you started. You want to end up number 1. That's the big. I understand that, but at the end of the day, no, it's still disrespectful because when you look at past years before when Alabama was rolling, they still were number 1 without a quarterback. With a new quarterback coming in that was a backup to the quarterback that been in there for 5 years.
Right.
It doesn't matter when you have a number 1 defense. I mean, they're going to control it, and you have the number 3 or number 2 offensive line. You don't have to do nothing but run the ball. If you have a running quarterback, run. And since Dabo has been the head coach, you have yet to see a quarterback that has made too many mistakes. They're always under control and they always run the ball.
Yeah, that. But and I ask you, even Robert, which game do you think is going to be the toughest for Clemson?
Louisville.
In the beginning. Louisville.
I say the very first game where they play Auburn is where you got to see what Clemson can really do.
But I want to know. But Robert, what do you? I mean,
4 ranked teams on the schedule. They got Auburn as 12th and 13th. You play them September 9th. Louisville on the road September 16th. Then you got Virginia Tech, and they're 21 and 22 on September 30th. So if you get out of September undefeated,
I was about to say that's back to back.
Then you're
back to back.
You know you're ready to roll again.
And Virginia Tech runs the ball.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Like crazy.
Runs the ball in special teams. I mean,
are they playing at Virginia Tech or are they playing at Clemson?
At Virginia Tech.
At Virginia Tech
for Clemson. Not Thursday night. Thursday night's been the nightmare for Clemson.
Is the Auburn now?
And Virginia Tech is known for being nightmares for people.
Yeah.
Is the Auburn game at Auburn or is it at Clemson?
It's at Clemson.
It's at Clemson.
Yeah.
So that's a plus for Clemson on that word.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Auburn. Louisville should be. They had no answer for him last year.
Yeah. Louisville in September was juggernaut. They rolled all over Florida State 63-20.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was out there in the daytime, and they just crunched them. I was like, what happened to Florida State? How good is Louisville?
Louisville is good. And
they were good in September, but
then they
got exposed. I mean, they were world beaters in September.
I just think the thing with Alabama is people starting to realize Nick Saban doesn't do a lot with secondary, and they're starting to figure it out. It's just coaching.
But they do the same. I'm telling you, it's amazing to me that every team that Alabama loses to, they do literally the same thing. They spread them out, and then they wear them out. Yeah. And every time they do it, Alabama everybody is either getting hurt or they got cramps. Something is wrong.
Alabama still got
something is wrong every
things
time.
Work. So. I mean, they got backups to be backups.
Yeah.
And the backups could be undefeated they want to.
What Clemson did with Alabama, they made them run side to side.
Yeah.
They've got these big defensive linemen, 99 plays. Toward the end of the game, they were
tired.
You can't run. I mean, you a big dude trying to run side to side.
I think Clemson and if Ohio State can get past Michigan, which I don't see happening, or Penn State, which I don't see happening, or even Wisconsin.
To be honest, I've been paying a lot of attention to Ohio State this year. I mean, they really had not. I'm even being like I said, being from Ohio, knowing that culture and whatnot. they have really been really serious as far as like this year, as far as from recruiting to, I mean, all the way down to the freshmen have been on their game. It's kind of crazy, but they still gonna have a dogfight at the end of the day when it comes down to Penn State. And I definitely could see Clemson getting back to the playoffs, but I just got to see how this quarterback he proves himself coming into this year. If I can see Kent State, I don't care about. Kent State, sorry. Don't nobody care about Kent State.
Kent State is now.
You say that now.
I mean, they are. If Kent State makes a game out of Clemson, I would say, hey, Walker. Now,
we're going to call you on phone. We're going to have a conference call.
But, hey, if Kent State make it a game, it's just like when SC State scored 7 and Clemson scored 7. I was like, okay, cool. And then that was like 63 to something.
That game gonna be whack. If you really want a game to pay attention to, look for Youngstown State is playing Pittsburgh.
Mayweather fight.
That's gonna be good.
Who you got? Browns player took a knee. White player took a knee.
When we come back, we're going to have high school spotlight today. Today we got Lesson's coach Woodbright. We're going to be at Lesson High School on Friday, so we got him calling in, so stay tuned for that.
Great. Had to get it out. We ain't talk about it. The guy taking the knee. Is it a big deal? Is the NFL messing up?
No, that was actually, to be honest with you, that's a good thing. All of them people talking all that junk, saying all the things they said, and because they was trying to make it a white black thing, and for that to happen, that shows it's not.
Hey, Coach Woodbright.
Yeah.
What's up, man? How you doing?
All right, doing good.
Good. You're on the radio show now. If you come back from commercial break,
how you feel about that?
30 seconds. All right.
How you feel about it?
All right.
What?
Him taking the knee.
What did he do? I'm still trying to figure out what did he do.
Who?
Kaepernick, like what did he do? Why is he being blackballed? So
it's the NFL, dude. The
NFL has with the commissioner two people need to be impeached. The commissioner of football and Donald Trump.
He got a contract, by the way.
He's got a contract. How much
Donald Trump?
He got his salary cut from $45 million to $30 million. Got it. Goodell did.
He needs to be impeached. Like you can't have. And I'm not trying to use my guy as like a scapegoat excuse, but Ray Rice gets in trouble. But what happened? And he gets like I'm talking.
You have players like doing stuff
in the media everywhere, personally.
And then you have somebody who just.
But the big problem was they gave him 2 games to start with, and
or sat down.
The media
you got Ezekiel Elliott. They didn't find the investigation didn't find anything wrong, and yet he still gets 6 games suspended. We back. That's how they do.
Oh yeah, we hit the music. That's when we come back. It's all right. Welcome back to the Walk Ons. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media. Kristen, where they got to follow us at?
Where did they got to what?
Where they got followers?
Where do they have followers?
He stuttered that whole
Facebook,
Instagram.
Wait! I got this. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Does YouTube count?
Periscope.
No, Periscope, Twitch.
Snitch.
Wasn't me that time.
Wait. There's one more. Instagram. Did we say that?
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio. Thank you.
Thank you, iHeart.
And she the one with the iPad.
I mean, it's like a song now. You know, we say like a song.
Yeah, like you ain't hard to hear with these headphones on.
It's all good.
Oh, you can hear us in it. All right, we back.
I can't even hear my own voice in my head.
We got the high school spotlight, and this week we're gonna be at Lexington High School as the AC Florida Falcons takes on the Lexington Wildcats. On the phone today we have is that the Wildcat sound?
Oh my gosh.
On the phone we got Coach Woodbright. Coach Woodbright, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How about y'all?
Good.
Hey, Coach.
As you can hear, we're having a great time here, and especially with Kristen with the.
Oh my gosh, they always pick on me, Coach.
Yeah, she did the Wildcat.
That was my Wildcat, so I hope you liked it.
Okay. We'll let you do that over the announcement Friday night.
Oh, I got you. I'll be there early.
I don't know if it's going to sound the same with the Will Wildcat.
She sound like the dude from Last Chance U.
Get her a hat to go with it.
So, Coach, tell me what happened last week. Y'all came out victorious over West Florence, 20-14. It was a good battle at the beginning of the first quarter, 7-7, and then a good defensive battle from there on out. So, tell me what's going on from last week.
Our defense played well all night long. They really just gave up 2 plays, one long pass and then one long run. Other than that, defense kind of shut them down. Offensively, we played well at times. We were just kind of a little inconsistent, but we kind of thought that we kind of knew that going into the game was going to happen. Just with our youth we have, especially up front on the offensive line and some of our positions on offense. really to them, some of them guys, you know, we had several guys, 6 different guys on offense. That was their first varsity game they ever played in. So, you know, kind of getting that deer in the headlights look out of them, and now they got a little bit more experience from them. So hopefully we'll continue to grow each game. So, you know, we had some chance to put up some other points. We just didn't finish some stuff off. But overall, kids played hard and battled to the end.
Coach, definitely want to ask, man, congratulations for you guys on the victory last week. But also want to just ask, with AC Florida coming in this week, what is the focus of some of the guys at practice this week, knowing that AC Florida is coming off of the successful season from last season, and knowing you guys are coming in this, you know, after that victory? What is their focus? How are they prepping themselves, especially some of the seniors? How are they prepping themselves to prepare for this game?
You know, like I'm a big believer you got to take it week by week. So, you know, once we finished with last week, we flushed that one away, you know, and you got to do that whether you win or lose. So, you know, our kids have been focused. You know, this week we had to practice Sunday this week because of all the stuff going on yesterday, and then we had another good practice today. But, you know, AC Ford's got a very talented team. They have a lot of speed all over the field. You know, so that's definitely something, you know, we're going to have to be aware of, not giving up big play defensively, because, you know, they got several guys that can score at any time. And then offensively, you know, we're going to have to try to hit some big plays over the top and take advantage of their aggressive play they have.
Coach, you had Chase Crouch was 13 of 19, 159 yards. Jordan Hiller, 19 rushes, 155 yards. So it looks like a pretty balanced attack that you had in week 1 or week 0. Do you expect to try to stay balanced all year, or is it just going to be a week-to-week thing?
You know, it's more of a week-to-week. You know, everybody says they want to be 50-50 unless, you know, you're in the flex bone or if you're in the air raid. But, you know, to me, it's more of a week-to-week. You know, if you get into a flow of a game and your run game's working, you're going to kind of rely on that more. If you get into a flow of a game, your passing game's working, you're going to rely on that more. You know, Friday night we kind of were able to have success with both of those. I think the big key Friday night, you know, I preach to kids all the time is, you know, if you win the turnover battle, you know, the team that wins the turnover battle wins 87% of the games. And that's throughout all football. And, you know, they turned the ball over a few times and we did. And so I think that's going to be big going into a game again this week, especially a team like AC Florida that can score quickly and kind of get that momentum going on their side, is that we protect the football and try to force some turnovers.
Coach, looking forward to Friday, what is your, one of the biggest things you think going in from last week to this week will keep you focused and your team focused into next week or to this week's game, and keep y'all like the momentum going and the juggernaut syndrome so that y'all can continue to play good and play well?
Yeah, man, I think the big key is, you know, anytime you come off the game, you know, when you watch film from the previous week, of course you want to point out the things you did well, but I think it's important too that we work on the corrections we did, because, you know, we're up 20-7 in the fourth quarter, and we got them 3rd and 8 back up to their 10, and we run a blitz where 3 different guys, you know, go in the wrong gap, and that breaks off a long run, you know, and puts them right back in the ball game. So, you know, when we're kind of in control or ready to put it away, we kind of let them back in. And I think that was an exploit. I talked to kids about it this week. You know, that was a great learning point that, you know, no matter where your momentum is in the game of the season, if you don't play every play in every game, you know, whoever we play with, the type schedule we have, can jump on you and beat you anytime.
Coach, this is Kristen. So you talked a little bit about how you got a couple of players who last game was their first game, and, you know, you're focusing on corrections and, you know, you're taking things week by week. But with this new focus, you know, you're going back and you're making corrections, you're looking at the mistakes. What is one of the things that you expect your guys, now that the first game jitters are out, now that you've corrected some of the initial mistakes, what is something that you expect them to come out and be much more aggressive about?
I think offensively, be more consistent.
Technical difficulties. Hold on 1 second. Everybody.
The question was so good.
Coach, what about you there?
Stumped him.
I was about to ask another question. I was like, oh.
Call failed.
So
we will try to call him back in just a second.
The question was that good.
I will ask some more questions, y'all.
Man,
I'm sorry.
You finally had some questions?
It was fire.
Oh my God.
Fire.
Thank you.
Fire.
That was my fire. Sounds like bad breath. That's what that sounds like.
You got it over there, technicality, man?
Yeah,
What now? Can you hear Coach Woodbright?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm sorry.
That's technical difficulty.
Question was so good, lost you.
All right, so now, Coach, you was answering. So what you were saying now?
Oh, okay. Well, no, what I was saying, our big focus and change we would like to see this week, offensively, be more consistent with moving the ball down the field. We did it at times. But I think overall is where we're not thinking so much. I think no matter what sport you're playing, if your athletes and your players are thinking, they're not going to be playing full speed. You want to think during the week when you're making corrections, stuff like that. But when it's time to go play the game, you want to keep it simple for kids so they can just go play. Because if kids are playing, they're going to play loose. They're going to play full speed. But if you can make athletes think, and that's what you want to do, offensively, I want to make other defense do. I want to make them kids think, because I know most teams we play don't have better athletes on the other side of us. But if those guys are thinking, they're not going to play full speed, and that's going to be to our advantage.
Awesome. Now, Coach, looking at AC4 score, high scoring game. They lost to Woodruff 53-45, I believe.
No defense.
So
woo.
But it's a high scoring game. You already know they got offense. Looking at the stats from last week, I just saw 12 penalties. So how can you tell on the defensive side to make sure to limit on mistakes and don't give AC4 no chances to to make things better on the next play?
Yeah, I think, big thing we got to do that Woodruff, did. Woodruff turned the ball over several times and, gave AC4 and kind of every time Woodruff would have a chance to kind of pull away, they turn it over and put AC4 back in the game because they do have a lot of guys on defense that can hurt you. And it was vice versa. AC4, every time they'd have a chance to get back in it, they would kind of have a turnover and kind of put their defense in some bad positions. So, the high-scoring game that putting up, I don't think that's indicative of how good their defense could be with the talent they have on the other side, especially in the back end and the secondary.
Cool. High school game day will be live from Lexington High School on Friday night at 7 o'clock p.m. We'll have our pregame, our halftime show, and our postgame, along with fan cam, student section cam, band cam, all that other cam. So make sure you watching any cam. So make sure you follow us on our Facebook page. We'll be Facebooking and tweeting the whole time from Lexington High School as they get ready to take on the AC4 Falcons. Coach, we'll see you on. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, but I'll also see you on Friday.
Oh my God. All right, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you guys for having me. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Coach Wood.
I gave him a wildcat.
So the wildcat.
I'm gonna put on Last Chance You.
I should hope he wasn't serious about giving the microphone.
Why you gotta give me that look? You gotta give me the evil eye like I did.
If he says like, "Hey, Kristen, come on up and do the wildcat,"
I would do it in a heartbeat.
If Coach said you did that, then you did that.
Look,
if Coach said you did it, you did it.
No, so she wasn't here last week, so
I'll come every game just to start off the game.
If Coach said you did it, then you did it.
Go ahead.
Other scores from last week: Lexington, like I said, they defeated West Florence 20-14. Louisville Elgin defeated Camden 33-28. Newberry defeated Keenan 42-0.
What? How about them Raiders?
40-7. Swansea defeated Battery Creek 27-13.
Shout out, Coach.
Defeated Ridgeview 28-21.
Talk about independence.
And what about Allendale Wabi, right, correct?
Yeah, Barnwell defeated Williston Elko 24-6. I had to call.
What about Dutch Fort?
Yeah, Dutch Fort. They
put that
completely
backing on them.
Independence. We're back with Coach Curtis Wright after this.
Yo, this is Boone.
Live.
So,
Coach,
shout out to Tyler Boone in Tennessee. Appreciate
Where's
it.
Boone?
Boone is still alive.
He living?
Soon.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be back soon.
Okay.
That's so
Did he get in some trouble? Is it like he'll be
shout out to
soon?
everybody watching me. Appreciate you. All 9 of you.
Oh my Lord Jesus! I don't think my
I know one of those
feed
9
is updating.
I know one of those 9.
You do?
Yeah.
Who?
It's my woman. Don't worry about that.
Coach Fry, can you hear us?
She just want to watch. She watching her man. She watching the man. That's what I'm saying. She got to watch her man.
Hey, Coach Fry.
She's so supportive.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Coach Fry.
We're gonna have to call you after the show, so we got some stuff to talk about.
All right, I got a feeling this will go over.
This gonna go over.
Coach Fry, can you please come and coach with me and Coach Williams at Spring Valley on the track team, please? We need you to come to Spring Valley. Me and
man.
Come on, man.
Coach, I got some trick questions for you.
You gave me all that insight on them hurdles, on being a hurdle coach. I need you back. I need you back.
He did.
Hey,
that's what I need too. Ooh, Coach Fry, I'm gonna hit you.
Listen,
I think you, all of you guys know how to overcome hurdles. Y'all been through a whole bunch of them.
I sure
That ain't the hurdles I'm talking about.
You better preach.
Welcome back.
Still going.
Y'all expert at hurdle.
I'm still hurdling stuff.
Nah, they knocked me over.
Welcome back.
I'm
get back up though.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. After tomorrow night, I ain't doing no more hurdles.
Well,
I'm gonna see how overcoming $650 million is. I'm gonna see how I can. I'm gonna jump over that.
Hallelujah.
all right. So
I want some of you athletes to do something for me.
oh,
What is that?
I want to know, should local athletes be involved in social issues like up there in Virginia at Charlottesville? Should our superstars around here who making all this money, should they make some statements? Should they stand up, or should they be like Michael Jordan and be quiet?
Hold on 1 second. We're gonna let Mark. We're gonna get with you. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna let Marcus bring the show in. Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
I mean, we already about a good 1 minute into the show now, so.
I'm sorry.
No, we're good.
Well, this is
We're
Coach
good.
Fry.
Yeah, welcome back to Walk Ons. Follow all on social media. All right, let's go.
All right, Coach. I think they should, but they got to be careful. A friend of mine was set up. I watched that over and over. Michael Vick, when he was asked the question about what should Colin Kaepernick do, and man, they went to Christmas Town with him. They really, it was like a setup. Like, why would you ask Michael Vick, somebody is trying to regain his image and do something so he can get his brand back out there, a positive image, and they really crucified him. So in the aspect, we all rise together and we fall alone. So it has to be something where everybody makes a stand. Key prime example I can think of that's all in my mind was the ESPYs when Melo, D-Wade, LeBron, and Chris Paul all stood and they both embraced, and it's got to be together.
I say this, like, as a player, you're assigned that invisible contract to keep your mouth shut. Like, you can't take a knee, you can't say what you got to say, you can't really post nothing on Facebook saying your mind. This is a free country. Everybody can say what they want to say. People be behind Twitter and Facebook just going in on players for something wrong they did. But as a player, vice versa, you gotta keep your mouth shut.
But they're gonna do it. But that's the thing. I mean, even with sports, we know sports, when it comes down to it, it's a job. That's what it is. So it is a job. At any moment, they're gonna let people. But that's the frustrating part. But that's the frustrating part, because when you see something like in society going wrong, something like that happening, why would you not be allowed to open your mouth? I mean, it's just, it makes no sense that even these athletes get to these places and it's like, okay, listen, we control your check, shut your mouth.
Well, Michael Jordan saw the green. That's why he didn't want to get too involved. You mentioned Michael Jordan, but
but he's a billionaire. I mean,
if you're bringing money in, you're risking. You risk a lot by opening your mouth, whether you're right or wrong. I mean,
the president don't keep his mouth closed.
He keep it closed when it's convenient. He does.
He got to protect the complexion for the protection.
I don't know. I think it's difficult. I think it's important for our athletes, our local whatever, to understand that they have a voice in our communities. But they also, I wouldn't want to say nothing if I knew. Well, I mean, it depends. I feel like I wouldn't want to say anything if I knew I was going to lose my job. I was going to lose, and nobody was going to support me. If I'm going to lose my job and y'all going to start a GoFundMe to support the rest of my life, I'll say whatever y'all want me to say.
But to me, I don't think it's just in professional sports with the NBA and NFL. It's also in college. It's
in everything.
But I feel like it would. Do you think it would be?
Boy, y'all some good ones. But I think that's why we got to raise athletes to be who they are early on. Being involved in your community, your church, your creating a brand that you stand for, right? Integrity is important to you. Those are things we say to people to develop and have.
But when a person has integrity, Muhammad Ali, people have always bailed out on him. But then that person, if they got deep convictions, then they still have to understand that the only reason you're kept is not because of your mouth, it's because of your gift. If you're talented enough, you can say some things. If you Oprah Winfrey can say something, Michael Jordan can say something. Well, they could have said something a long time ago. Phil Knight was not going to bail out on Michael Jordan. But if you're a liability athlete, you already been in trouble. You already been in jail. You already done beat somebody up. You already sexual assaulted someone along the way, and you already sold dope, and you already got this. Your gift will hold you for a little bit, but your character will sustain you through struggles, so you can stand and have. You can speak your mind. Even you guys on your jobs early on in your career. When you know you're in an environment that you're gonna be compromised, you're gonna get compromised because somebody younger comes along, somebody taller, somebody that carries their skirt up higher, or somebody that sleeps with somebody. You're gonna get compromised. So what you have to do is avoid the reputation of maintaining your integrity by being someone that can be seduced or can be coming. Somebody won't come at you that way.
Well, I heard what you I just was thinking about this. I mean, there's even if you like you said, our jobs, even at our jobs, we use discretion. Depends on what the situation is and how the situation, how it comes out. Like we know, like at certain situations, we know we're not going to say nothing. So I think even with some of these athletes, they are thinking that they are taking discretion when it comes to it because it is their job. It's what they do. It's what they get paid for. But when you got a person like a LeBron who's making millions of dollars outside of a basketball contract, he's gonna stand up and gonna say something because it's not gonna hurt his income when it comes. It's not gonna hurt him because residually he's making more than he gets paid. He makes more off the court than he does on the court. True. So so somebody like that's gonna stand up and say something. So I would say, even if now like a Colin Kaepernick, they're gonna throw him under the bus. You know what I mean? Oh, they already did. We're gonna throw you down here because your check down the street. Hey, you don't have any money. You don't have endorsements. So we're gonna just throw you down under the drain.
What's more important? The Kaepernick's name will be. Will go in society longer than 80% of the people who play in all of the leagues. His reputation and integrity. So why do you do something? Do you do it because you want to have a stage, or do you want a legacy of your contributions, or is it you want money? I'm gonna tell you what. If you do it strictly for money, it'll fade. You'll spend it all, and then you'll be somebody that was a broke brother that played in the game. Right. Are you going to be somebody that established? We have to keep talking about establishing your brand. Right. I mean, and we got to get young people. The reason I bring this topic up is, heck, even as coaches. I mean, I have to. People ask me to stand up on conservation. I'll say my opinion here. And heck yeah, I can get fired tomorrow because I don't agree with some things that go on. Right. But I think some of the things would always be, you know what, Coach Fry going to keep it real. Because Coach Fry was real when he first came in. My philosophy was nobody hired me, nobody can't fire me, God placed me. Right. And I never looked for a job. I was always it was the gift that God gave me the job. And so I just say, you know what you're getting. Right. You have to be who you are, and integrity always gonna sustain you. You can change ship to integrity in the middle of being a scumbucket.
That's true.
Hey, Coach. The thing is, when Muhammad Ali took a stand, he took it because that's what he believed in. If you do anything because that's what you believe in, it makes it worthwhile because what you're going through is a belief. If you do it for money, then it's not going to sustain you because then you go, oh, well, I sold my soul for something I didn't believe in, and whatever happens. Kaepernick, I think he didn't think nothing of it. He was just trying to make a stand, and this is what it has become. But he did something because he believed in it. And I think most athletes believe whatever they believe, whether they don't, they're quiet. But anything has to be done in unison. And I think once it becomes a point where they, behind closed doors, can say we all come together. Wow. We all come together and we take this stand together.
But for what happened in Charlottesville a couple of weeks ago, or should I say last week? Yeah. If players were to, okay, let's say for this. If some of the players went to Charlottesville,
UVA,
UVA, and was part of what Trump called the anti-left, and you know, protesting against the guys who were, you know, saying Jews needs to be replaced and so forth. Would they be in the wrong as for going there and trying to support what's right?
I mean, it depends on how everything is, how you got to do your research and how the media is portraying it. I recently watched something on YouTube when I forgot the professor with the afro that goes around from Harvard here. I forgot his name. West.
Cornel West.
Cornel West was saying he was there, and
he's gonna be everywhere though.
Yeah, but he was there, and he said he was in the trenches, and they were singing "Kumbaya," and the other people were singing, you know, some hateful stuff, and he was saying it was hate. The hate outnumbered the peace and the peace and love that they was trying to, you know, chant. And he's saying, why would the president say he's seen this, that, and the third when it wasn't that, because he wasn't there? But the way the media portrayed it, and you had another brother trying to defend Trump, but that's another subject. Of saying that's how it's perceived, but it is what the media makes of anything. So you have to come together so that they honestly can see that we're standing up for something that's the bully syndrome, I like to say, and America is great at doing that. We bully people. We're good at bullying people.
Yeah, this isn't Nazi Germany though, so
yeah, so
there's no place for that.
Yeah, so they're bullying. So if you do it together, so that everybody can see, look, when we're not doing it for attention, we're doing it because it's wrong. This is right, and this is wrong. So if we can get behind closed doors and take that approach, so that media can't spin it, because negativity always makes more, you know, for popularity. So yeah,
it come down to the unison, man. It just means that whether it's not about what race and whatnot. It's just unison. Everybody together at one time. You know what I mean? Making sure they join together. So that makes sense.
Hey man, you guys are incredible. I just like the young mind to keep thinking on justice, what's right and fair. And many times you can't afford. I'd rather for you to keep your house than to lose your house, and then I had to support you. So losing your job, defending something that you don't believe in, I'm not an advocate of that. Make sure you got a day job, but stand behind your integrity.
Hey, we'll be back on the Walk Ons after this commercial.
Stay on, Coach. Stay on, Coach.
Right here, all right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Coach, you back. You good?
You good? Now, you got to start somewhere, and I think they are getting to the point where these young athletes are not able to speak their mind because they see what happens to other athletes. I mean, you're a product of your environment. If you're watching close enough and you see what happened to other people, Mike Vick, one of the greatest in his era to do it, and then
he got messed up.
Yep.
That
for whatever.
Yeah, but
I mean,
his mind has never justifiably stood behind anything. He was up there in Norfolk, Virginia, with some other guys that were killing dogs and shooting and having the best parties at the best club. His atmosphere to move to his stage didn't support a thing called character. So when he speaks his mind, it's out of character of where his mind has been for 30 years.
He chose to be a product of his own environment, though.
Yeah, and so when you speak in the product of your own environment, it's very you can't come forth and all of a sudden be a defender of justice, morals, and right.
You're right.
I'm not talking about somebody like that. I'm talking about people who come from environment where they benefited from the environment. Where Michael Jordan's mother was a school teacher. His father, he might have been a guy gambling and stuff, but he had two-parent home. So it's out of norm for a person coming from a parks and recreation where the neighborhood raised you, and coming from an environment wherein that you've been contributed to by the support of Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, girls clubs, and AAU sports and stuff that supported you. You're supposed to take some responsibility. You should step up and be on side. You got to go out and have camps for little kids and talk about it and not smoking dope and how to not bullying girls. And so then you got a voice because you've been living what you're talking about. You can't talk about what you ain't never lived.
Right. Amen.
Coach, well, first of all, welcome back to the show. Coach, we got to continue this conversation on next week. We'll try to get you so hard to come to the studio or next week if that's possible. That's fine with you?
Hey, let's keep it real.
Awesome. That's what we're gonna call your segment. Keeping it real.
Yeah,
Coach, keeping it real goes wrong.
I like that.
Football season is coming up, man. We're 11 days out. Yeah, the Gamecocks play.
Yeah, Gamecocks play next Saturday. We will be in Charlotte, North Carolina for a Charlotte takeover. And me personally, I'll be inside the stadium as the game kicks off. So, yeah.
Hey, big time, man! He's in the stadium. He did something.
I mean, I'm in the Touch Jesus section. So
Oh my gosh!
Did
you just say that?
That's why. Hey, look, there's no kind of brothers that can. And them not kind of brothers I like hanging out with. They in a section.
Hey, are you gonna be there when Carolina plays Kentucky for the blackout game?
Oh heck yeah, I'll be there, but I'm gonna be in the cheap section. I ain't gonna be like you.
Hey, all you gotta do is give us some passes, and we can come with you.
Yo,
I mean, you do help us out, so just keep that in mind.
I know you'll be on the sideline. I'm gonna be way up there in that section.
Cheap. I wish I was in the sideline. They well, that's another conversation. I'm not gonna say that.
I'm gonna be on the side.
If you come sit where my tickets are, man, you get a nosebleed.
Oh, man.
Left, right corner.
We'll talk about that later.
They take good care of me. I gotta quit saying stuff like that. I'm in a very fine section. I don't get no sun, not no rain on me.
All right.
So,
nice. Well, just keep us in mind when other games come around, okay?
Oh Lord, I'm just gonna watch you guys. I love seeing young people work hard and stand out there in that sweat. So you guys just keep it sweating.
Appreciate it, Coach.
I'm so glad y'all let me talk to the young lady. That's what I was stressed out here. I'm saying, wait a minute here now. These brothers, they don't let me talk to the lady.
They never let me talk. They never let me talk.
Coach, you got the floor now. Go ahead. Let's Kristen.
How you doing?
We're gonna make this fair, right, Kristen?
You gonna make this fair?
Yeah, we'll make it fair. I mean, we do. We love Kristen here. We love Kristen.
No, they don't. They don't.
Hey,
they're so mean to me. You remember that bullying girl she was talking about?
Yes.
I feel it.
All right, what we got?
I got some black.
Group hug.
I know how they do. I got some black friends too. I know how they do you, Kristen. Oh, I got some girls friends too.
They just gave her a hug just like 2 seconds ago.
We love Kristen.
Don't give me the eye. I ain't do nothing.
Kristen's not going.
I'm sitting at the end of the table.
She gonna stay right here on this show.
I'm so glad.
Praise Jesus.
You're there.
Thank you.
Thank you. You got to keep them real now.
I'm gonna try.
We like.
They're gonna act like. That's all right. Don't forget me whenever you have your show on ESPN, Kristen.
Thank you.
Hey, we're going right with Kristen.
I won't.
We're going right with Kristen.
Yo, iHeartRadio.
Everybody but Opie.
Oh my God.
iHeartRadio.
Threw you under the bus, bruh.
You under there with Kaepernick now.
Go ahead, take my knee. Take a knee.
There are special things that happen this week. I mean, Dawn Staley losing her mother and going away.
Wow. Condolences to Dawn and her family.
And her family is incredible. We're mother, a very spiritual lady, and the things you see in Dawn, you could identify her mother's wake, and I hear her funeral was incredible.